Welcome back, everyone. It is LaughNgamez here, and today we're back with another Starcraft 2 1 vs 1 replay. We are here today with a Protoss versus Terran. I figured it is time for me to cast some more Protoss, as there has not been a lot of them on this channel, even though Protoss versus anything is a good matchup to watch in this state of Legacy of the Void. So, we have GunGFuBanDa versus Apocalypse. So, Apocalypse spawning down in the bottom left. And up in the top right, we have GunGFuBanDa playing for Planet Key. I believe Apocalypse is not actually on a team right now, so GunGFuBanDa the only one of these two players that is on a team. Now, we have Apocalypse, known as one of the Korean Terrans, who plays in a lot of these online cups, but has not necessarily had big results, so it's going to be interesting to see him go up against one of the more known foreign Protoss in Legacy in recent times. And now we actually have this map on Dusk Towers. That's the name of the map. Took me a second there. Dusk Towers is the map they are playing on. And we have Apocalypse seemingly going to be opening up with a Reaper expand, so playing it completely safe, and GunGFuBanDa going for a gateway expand. So very standard macro openers we have. The Reaper coming out now. It's going to go across the map and see what GunGFuBanDa is up to, but we're not actually sure what GunGFuBanDa is going to be doing at this stage in the game, but he is throwing down that extra gas fairly quick. I'll admit it, I'm not an expert on Protoss gas timings here, but this usually means Protoss could do something a bit cheeky, such as an Oracle, fast Twilight Council, really anything, you name it, in the book. But Apocalypse wants to have all the information, so he's opening up with a Reaper and following it up with a Marine. Reaper actually going to look around, make sure he's not being proxied or anything like that. But GunGFuBanDa just opening up fairly standard. Okay, so we now have Apocalypse throwing down that factory, possibly going to be going for some fast drop play, following up this Reaper. And now just going to see what's going on here. Coming in with this Reaper. Going to jump up. But is going to be met by this Adept, so he knows that this Reaper needs to hop right out. Otherwise that Adept with its shade will catch him and kill him. GunGFuBanDa waiting at the top of the ramp. Health bars need to be turned on there, so there we go. And this Adept Shade going to chase down this Reaper. GunGFuBanDa actually going for a block and picking off that Reaper with the probes. That was very fancy. He knew that Reaper was going to try to go through this little spot, so he pulled the probes to stop it. Now, we have Apocalypse going for an oh-so-common, well, not necessarily common anymore, but an oh-so-classic Terran build versus Protoss, which is opening up with a Widow Mine drop. We've actually got an extra SCV mining gas here for Apocalypse, but he fixes that after a second here, so no major harm done there. Now we've got GunGFuBanDa opening up with an Oracle here. Opening up with an Oracle, but we do have an engineering bay on the way for Apocalypse. Apocalypse playing it very safe, burrowing that Widow Mine in his mineral line, because he did not see, or he actually did see the building Stargate. My mistake here. So he knows what GunGFuBanDa was going for, and GunGFuBanDa actually, interestingly enough, committing to this Oracle, even though it was scouted. He's gonna at least force Apocalypse to possibly defend. The Oracle has a bit more use in Legacy of the Void, as he can do things like throw down stasis wards. Revelation is always wonderful, so even if he does not get a bunch of worker kills, this can pay off. Now Apocalypse going very, very heavy into this defense style. Okay, so the Oracle coming in, picking off that one SCV that's repairing the reactor, because GunGFuBanDa poking with this Adept, and Apocalypse knows why bother trying to kill it, it'll just pull back and be fine. Now we've got Apocalypse going out for a drop after pushing that Oracle away after the Oracle gets the one kill in scouting. Now, the Oracle actually didn't scout the third command center coming out of Apocalypse, so he's going to be playing very macro, but so is GunGFuBanDa on the other side of the map as he throws down this third Nexus. He's got Stalkers all around the map, getting out Phoenix to defend off this drop, which he likely assumes is coming. Okay, so we've got the mine and Marines actually coming out of the front pressure a bit. This Adept might get caught out here. He's actually going to run and bait the mine on top of the Medivac, and the Medivac goes down. That was an amazing play by GunGFuBanDa. Walking the Adept into the Marines as they pick up into the Medivac as they're baited, and then baiting the mine shot. Apocalypse's own mine into the Medivac, so Photon Overcharge picked it off. An amazing play by GunGFuBanDa there. One Adept to pick off an entire Medivac. And that's going to give him peace of mind, so he's just going to tech up. Now, it's not necessarily going to be a very techy tech by all means. He's throwing down a bunch of gateways, and he's going to be going for what seems like a huge attack. He probably assumes, okay, Apocalypse likely going to be going for that third command center, and by the time all these gateways finish, and one actually on the other side of the map here, which is going to be used to warp in gateway units quickly. So this means that Apocalypse is going to likely be forced off his third base, as GunGFuBanDa is going to do huge warp-ins and go for a big attack. Now, this is going to be the definition of an all-in coming out of GunGFuBanDa. He does not have any forges. He does not have a robo bay. It is going to be a large blink sentry attack, it seems. And this is likely going to hit at around the 8-minute mark, in which Apocalypse could take a lot of damage from this, or even die to it, but if he doesn't, the game will likely end, because Apocalypse is teching so heavily here. So GunGFuBanDa going to be putting all his eggs in this one big all-in basket, but starting these resonating glaives, which is not necessarily good, because by the time they are done, Stim will practically be done for Apocalypse. He'll have his 1-1 upgrades versus just gateway units, and he's going to have a scary amount of bio here. So GunGFuBanDa is sort of going to as I said, put all his eggs in one basket. Now that Marine for Apocalypse, let's just back up a sec. Did he actually see that? See those sentries? It's gonna be close here.
SCV ready.
See those two sentries? No, it did not see this. Oh, it actually caught a glimpse of the sentries, so he knows. Apocalypse knows. Alarm bells are going off for Apocalypse. He knows that GunGFuBanDa has been keeping close tabs on him with that Oracle, using the Revelation ability, but Apocalypse actually going out. He's going to see all these blinked stalkers, but GunGFuBanDa blinking back instead of blinking on, which is which is giving Apocalypse a lot of time. His command center is going to float over. It might actually even escape, which GunGFuBanDa really needs to kill this off if he's going to macro out of it. And it seems like he might actually kill that off. The stalkers are focusing it now, but he's going to be losing a lot here, and it seems that this command center is actually going to escape. GunGFuBanDa has the Phoenix for high ground vision, but the repair coming out, but he manages to force field in so many of those SCVs. We're only managing to kill 8 in total here, though. But GunGFuBanDa is not teching right now. Well, now he is. He knows, okay, I'm not going to be able to kill him here. He cannot go up that ramp, so he's going to get absolutely everything that he can. Losing that high ground vision, well, at least having it forced back by the Phoenix. Apocalypse is in a bad situation because he's been forced to pull all these workers versus these blink stalkers. GunGFuBanDa will happily trade here because he really needs to do some damage to Apocalypse, as Apocalypse is going to have his 2-1 upgrades soon, whereas GunGFuBanDa's forges are just finishing up. GunGFuBanDa saying, alright, I didn't kill him, time to tech, but he hasn't even thrown down a robo yet, so he is he's going to be very, very far behind in tech-wise. But so GunGFuBanDa, knowing this, he has to do any damage he can. He's warping an Adept into the natural base, but he had right-clicked on this command center, so all those Adepts go down for 300 HP on a command center, which was not worth it, but they bought time, they forced all those units back, but these blink stalkers all blink at the same time. Great force fields coming out of GunGFuBanDa, but this upgraded bio is trading so well with the stalkers, even though the force fields are great, holding back so much of the bio. So GunGFuBanDa going to trade at best. A bunch of Adepts coming in, but this is so much bio here. These Adepts attacking with their adrenal glands. These are 0-0 Adepts and stalkers versus bio. This bio is so weak from stimming so much, but Apocalypse just needs to hang on and it will all heal up, and he seemingly does that, meanwhile getting counter-attack damage across the map with the drop being cleaned up, so GunGFuBanDa not taking too much damage, but GunGFuBanDa has taken damage by not doing damage. He still has not elected to start teching, even though he's floating 1,500 minerals, so he really needs to start teching. He's getting these 2-2 upgrades, but he does not even have a robo on the way yet. He has no way to even see Apocalypse's Widow Mines anymore. So Apocalypse was contained on two bases for a long time there now. But GunGFuBanDa's in a bad position here. He's trying to go for a fourth base because he's thinking, alright, well, I've been on three bases for a while, time for a fourth, but I don't think there's honestly going to be a way he'll be able to hold on here. Once Apocalypse sort of recovers from the damage, he's starting to get a scary amount of bio units, and what does GunGFuBanDa have to defend against this? Gateway units that have absolutely no upgrades versus 2-2 bio. At best, it'll be 1-1 versus 2-2 bio. So GunGFuBanDa in a very bad situation here. He's going to need a lot of gateway units to hold this off. And now he's actually poking with some Blink Stalkers to try and force Apocalypse back. Apocalypse going to be going for a drop, which isn't necessary, which could actually give GunGFuBanDa a chance to stay in this game if Apocalypse decides to play it too passively. Because Apocalypse could do amazing damage to GunGFuBanDa right now, assuming he pushes properly. But if he just selects to only go for drops, he could give GunGFuBanDa a chance to tech back in on a 4-base economy. But Apocalypse moving out again, so he might be going in to try and kill off GunGFuBanDa, who still is only on these Adept Stalkers with a few sentries. And still, GunGFuBanDa going for no Robobay. If Apocalypse knew that no Robo was in sight, he'd definitely be going for more mine drops, but that's not happening. But one pylon is unpowered and GunGFuBanDa loses the Stargate. The Templar Archive stopped researching Storm, which is oh so critical. The Storm was how GunGFuBanDa was going to hold on here. GunGFuBanDa now relied to gateway units and High Templar, which is not going to have Storm in time for this fight. He's going to be pushed back. He lost that fourth base, which I believe is still not cancelled because it had already finished. GunGFuBanDa in a very tight, tense spot right now. He's lost. He has lost his third base, so that was his main advantage versus Apocalypse. Apocalypse now has the better upgrades. He's going into Ghost Tech as he knows GunGFuBanDa is going to try to get back into this game with Templar. GunGFuBanDa has been on three bases for a long time, so he is likely going to lose his mining sooner because Apocalypse was on two bases, so GunGFuBanDa's third base is actually going to start mining out relatively soon here. Mineral patch, only 180 left on it. So GunGFuBanDa needs to take this fourth base and defend it. He needs to defend it with all means, but he's not even getting more upgrades, so that's going to be very difficult as Apocalypse. Lower on supply, yes, but gonna be coming in with the bio, forcing a cancel on the base, and this is getting worse and worse for GunGFuBanDa. But GunGFuBanDa's Storm now finishing up here, so he could get some very clutch storms, but a huge drop coming in for Apocalypse. GunGFuBanDa warping in these 1-1 adapts versus these soon-to-be 3-3 Marines, which will simply not work in a trade here. Adepts start to lose their effectiveness the later the game goes on, so Apocalypse just trading incredibly efficiently with GunGFuBanDa at this moment. That drop being cleaned up and all the units dying, but Apocalypse is fairly content to sit out here, noting GunGFuBanDa is only on three bases. Coming in with all these Marauders, eating the storms, keeping off every single High Templar that was. GunGFuBanDa has absolutely no Storm right now, warping in more Zealots. These Zealots, keep in mind, that do have charge. He got that from the Twilight Council. Starting to get +2, so the Zealots are tankier, but Apocalypse is getting 4 ghosts. He'll be hatching up on the supply very soon, as he's already floating over his fourth base, whereas GunGFuBanDa has tried to get his fourth so many times. And if we actually look here, GunGFuBanDa has no robotics bay. Well, he does now, but okay, there we go. So he does have an observer. He finally got a robotics bay at around the 12-minute mark or so, which is absolutely very, very late for Protoss versus Terran. GunGFuBanDa's trying to stay in this game, though, with everything. So he's starting the long-distance mine to a fourth base. Getting a Warp Prism, so he's going to try to get some counterattack damage done here. Meanwhile, Apocalypse has these ghosts. He has more mines, lots of bio. That is now on 3-3, which is at best currently going to be versus 1-2 Protoss units. GunGFuBanDa actually pushing out, though. Does he feel like he needs to get some damage done? He is not really in a position to try and get damage done, though. He almost needs to turtle. But these ghosts coming in, getting EMPs on every single High Templar. These Templars are going to have no choice but to morph from the Archons. But this is going to leave GunGFuBanDa with no choice but to fight. And this is simply just too much coming out of Apocalypse. These Adepts, Stalkers, Sentries all melting, and GunGFuBanDa giving up there. He simply did not get enough damage done with that first poke, or he did not try to tech out soon enough. and moving out there was a very questionable decision, only to be finished off by those ghosts with amazing EMPs out of Apocalypse. So, very well played by Apocalypse. He handled GunGFuBanDa's attack very well, and GunGFuBanDa just not necessarily teching quick enough after that failed all in, or during it when he should have realized that that attack was not going to kill him. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I shall see you next time. If you have any feedback, please leave it so. I am going to be doing plenty more StarCraft 2 casts like this, so if you feel free to subscribe. Bye-bye.